Hello, everybody. My name is Urh and I help people become their best versions of themselves. We've been doing for a whole month already. Yesterday, I completed a 31 daily uploads challenge. And that feels very good. Nonetheless, we're just starting. I'm just starting and we gotta keep this up, shall we? So I've been seeing a lot of people struggling with complaining. Not necessarily struggling because they don't really believe that's something bad, but let me tell you something, it is. Why? Because by complaining, you're basically transforming your subconscious even more into thinking that everything out there is hard and tough and negative colored. The more you do it, the more your subconscious will be negative colored, and the more negative thoughts it will produce, the more negative reasons for complaining it will give you. One of the main reasons why I don't hang out with a lot of people is, well, first because I haven't met a lot who would actually vibe with me. Most probably because I have only made some really major changes in my life recently, so I haven't had a lot of time, a lot of opportunity of meeting all these other people, but it's also because there are so few out there who actually have things inside their heads organized enough to understand these concepts of how subconscious works, how these soul energies work, even spirituality. And yeah, I would rather be alone and don't listen to all this complaining out there, how life is hard, how tired they are all the time. That just drives me insane. What you consume consumes you, and that goes from social media, what you watch on social media, what you watch on television, what books you read, and obviously who you hang out with. And I don't want to be influenced by the energies of negative colored people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It just, I made a decision because I know that everything around me affects me. Who you are exposed to or what you are exposed to, that's who you will eventually become. So how do you stop complaining so much? Well, you gotta understand that complaining is just a state of mind. It's basically being used to finding all these reasons out there which make you feel a certain way. So in this case, they make you feel as if you are the victim of everything out there and everything out there is making you feel bad. Complaining is usually a consequence of the victim mentality, which again makes you believe that you are the victim of all that's going on in this world, and especially in a negative way. So basically that you don't have control over who you are and you don't have control over your life. So how do you escape this complaining mentality, this complaining mindset? Well, you gotta understand how it works. So basically, you have been exposed to people complaining at some point in life. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know that's a thing. And so when you were exposed to these people who were complaining all the time, you basically build your subconscious around it because you hear everybody complain and you are like, because you were young and you were still learning about the world and about the life, oh yeah, so that's what life is, that's how I should react. Because I mean, there are people around me and I'm a human. So yeah, I didn't know how to do it, but now I know. And so you started memorizing these behaving patterns. And yeah, one day you woke up being 20 plus, maybe 18 plus, like even 16, it doesn't matter. And complaining became self-evident. It became a part of you. When something becomes a part of you, you don't really think about it anymore because it just is. That's what reality is. But the thing is, that's really not necessarily true. There are so many options in our lives. There are so many behaving patterns that can be attained, learned, that it's kind of ignorance to say that only one or a smaller group of them is true. The first step to overcoming this complaining mentality is by knowing that it is possible, that there is another way of living and looking at things. And so in this particular case, well, obviously you can stop complaining and you can stop searching for the reasons subconsciously to feel bad about. You gotta train your mind, you gotta be consistent. And don't worry too much if you fail right away, because you probably will. you have been complaining for your whole life. Like, you can't make a change like that, you know. I mean, you can, but it's kind of tougher, and we're not gonna talk about that. What I like to do is to just stay consistent and to feed my subconscious with contradictory thoughts. So positive thoughts. I think a great exercise is to actually start searching for reasons out there in this world which you can be grateful for. So instead of saying like, oh, I'm so tired because this job is making me lose all the energy, you can say, oh, I'm so grateful because I have this job which pays me quite a lot compared to other people around the world who work for a couple of cents an hour. For example, it was a shitty one, but you get the point. It's always like that. There are always two polarities. What I would also keep in mind is that it's not only about complaining. There are so many other things uncured inside you. And just by focusing on any of them or on all of them at once, which I'd not necessarily recommend, but maybe that works for you, you bring all these negative energies out and ultimately cure each other at the same time, because it is all connected. Like, we people like to give names, so that's why I'm talking about complaining mindset, but it's not really complaining mindset. It's just the fact that you have learned all these negative behaving patterns that are constantly coming out of you all the time in so many areas of your life. Meditation is such a powerful tool because when you meditate for long enough, aka observe your thoughts and get to know who you actually are, you can calm your mind and stop these repeating processes that are going on all the time and basically start rewiring. It may take some time, it may take practice like anything you start doing, but it's so freaking worth it. That's how I healed myself so much. It was just by meditation, by observing myself, how I reacted in certain situations, and so changing that responses to all that was going on in my life. So just to summarize everything, complaining comes from your negative colored subconscious, and you can heal your subconscious by choosing to think positive thoughts, which will then slowly but surely transform it into a more positive colored one. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. You can like this video if you liked it, comment if you have anything to say, if I was unclear anywhere, and obviously subscribe to my channel. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.